is Jesse Miller. I am currently the Tools Team Product Manager for ServiceRocket. I oversee the development of our software for the Atlassian ecosystem. Currently, I am in Malaysia working with our development team, but I've been working with ServiceRocket for about 2 years. The majority of that has been in Palo Alto after I relocated from the East Coast of the United States.
Hi, my name is Kathy Chavez. I am the talent generalist here in Palo Alto. I help in HR. I help administrate as well all 4 offices here in Palo Alto, in Chile, in Australia, and the UK. And yeah, I've been almost here for about a year, and again, I help with all the HR administrative stuff as well as the office administration.
Hi, my name's Kendall. I've been with ServiceRocket for almost 2 years. I started out as the training coordinator and started getting involved with lots and lots of customers in the training space, and from there have transitioned into more of a customer success manager role with many of our training services and Training Rocket customers. In addition to that, I also manage the sales development representative team. So from marketing on through to the inbound and outbound sales, I'm responsible for that as well.
I'm Jesse Cisneros. I'm a technology consultant here at Palo Alto. Been here almost a year. A year next month, actually.
Woohoo!
Yeah. What do I get, Kathy? Yeah, so I work with clients and I implement our tools.
For me, it's really about the culture that we have here in the company. Also, I've been around to a lot of our offices. I've been to the 3rd office that I've been to so far, and it's really unique that everywhere we go, the culture is the same. So much to the extent that I talk to locals or tell people about our culture at the company in that area, and everyone's just so surprised that we have this type of culture where in each location. So it's really just about the culture that we have here and the people that we have here. It's pretty unique.
I have to say it's the culture as well. It's really awesome. I mean, I don't know if it's also the startup environment where I can just easily walk over to an engineer and ask for feedback on a project. It's the culture and the people, and I like Jesse. Like Jesse said, I feel like it's also across all the other offices. It's a fun place to work, and the people are very collaborative. They're happy and very motivated to work. So that's what I really like about ServiceRocket.
It's going to be a broken record. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a very unique culture. I've worked at a few other companies, and everyone has a lot of values that are their claim to fame, and oftentimes they could fall short of those. And I don't feel that way with ServiceRocket. I feel like everything we say, we're very true to. Talk straight is one of them, and I mean, everyone here really does that, and from the top down respects each other's opinions. So beyond just a fun place to work, it's an empowering place to work, because if you have an idea, there's a readily available audience to go for it.
For me, I would have to say it's really, I've learned that at the risk of sounding slightly arrogant, I know a lot more than I give myself credit for. Meaning that just being in this culture really pushes you to really try to investigate and see what you know and really try to advance yourself and your skill set. So at the same time, it really pushes you, and you realize what you do know, and what you don't know, you figure out. So for me, it really it pushed me to find those things out that I didn't know, and then showed me what I really do know. It also showed me, how much harder that I have to work, and how much more diligent and much more meticulous I have to be with a lot of elements. In the startup environment, you have the opportunity to work with pretty much everything, not just your simple focus area. So it just shows you that you really have to be a lot more meticulous and a lot more, you know, task oriented when you're actually going through your day-to-day activities. I learned from my own mistakes, and with our value really being talk straight, it really does lend the company itself to be very vocal, not to the point of critical, well, not to the point of negative, but critical. And I mean critical in a very positive way. The company and all the leaders that we have in the company, you know, will be very objective when they're talking with you or asking you to do something to really, you know, bring to light the things that you need to work on. And so I would say that, yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot about myself simply because our value is talk straight. In the beginning, I learned that sometimes I didn't take note to the things that I should, and that's a behavior that I've changed about myself.
I feel like I can collaborate with anybody here in this office or in the other offices. With this collaborative culture, I'm able to grow.
I always hated technology up until working here, and even when I first started, I was like, God, this is so overwhelming. And yeah, I've never really considered a career in the technology field or working with so many different products and things like that. And I think the aha moment for me was uncovering this whole disruption of customer success that's happening right now in the Bay Area, and realizing that the skill set that I have and the things that I've learned here are giving me the ability to help customers bridge gaps to make their customers more successful with products. And so it's been pretty cool to, one, discover that I can like technology, and two, to discover that the things that I'm good at are helping others be good at technology.
What I learned about myself is I'm really good. Well, I really like learning, and I'm also, I think, pretty good at it. I like learning a lot. I didn't know that. That's something I just discovered.
I do have a decent amount of view into this because I do take part in actually interviewing candidates for this job, and what I really encourage everyone is, you know, don't take a job because, especially, you know, when you're in this young part of your career and you're really developing it for the future years, don't take a job that's gonna, you know, that you're just kind of accepting. Don't take a job that you're just, you know, throwing up your hand and say, you know what, I need a job, so here we go, I'll take this. If you're taking a job at this point in your career, you should really be looking at building it for future success and really building along the path of what you want to do. Maybe it might not be the exact same thing that you think that you want to do, but at least in that job you see potential for growth and continued learning and continued expansion of your career. And I think that's one thing that ServiceRocket provides, and why after a long search I actually joined ServiceRocket after a lot of other opportunities. I joined ServiceRocket because I saw that potential in it. And going through interview candidates, I mean, I've actually told them the same thing. I'm like, you know, if you don't feel like this is a fit for you, don't join, because you don't want to be here. We don't want you. I don't want to say that we don't want you here, but it's not a good situation because you really want to have a place where you feel comfortable, feel like you can grow. And that's what I would tell everyone that's really going and looking for that right job at this point in their life, at this point in career. Make sure it's a place where, for one, you feel like you want to start with the job, but also that you know and you see a potential for growth. And that you see that you can continue to learn, because chances are you don't know exactly what you want to do right now for the rest of your life. And you need to discover that over the coming years. So that's what the advice I'd really give.
First, think about what you love or what kind of environment you would really want to work in. Do you want to work in a very supportive, collaborative environment, or an environment that's very accepting of your ideas, or the other way around? You really first got to figure out what kind of environment really suits you. And yeah, think about growth. Think about where you will grow, where you'll find that development.
Look for places that fit the culture that they want, number one, and do their due diligence. So I think it's really important to ask a lot of questions and get to a place that you understand exactly what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, so I always repeat what my mentor said to me, and that changed the way I thought about jobs when I was evaluating them. So that's really what he said to me: stay on the revenue generating side of the company. And that means a lot of different things to different companies, right? One role may be revenue generating on one company, but not on another.
Typical model that we used to think of as work as, a 9 to 5 day or an 8 to 5 day is vastly changing at a very rapid course. And I think within our generation, in our lifetime, us speaking about the younger culture, I think we're going to have to really release that model that we've seen for so long through our parents, basically growing up in every aspect like that. I think it's something that we're really going to have to reshape. So much to this aspect of also in the global environment is something that I struggle with because I'm here in KL and I am having to work with Palo Alto on a day-to-day basis. So I can't tell you when my working hours are because they're pretty much all the time. I think it's just something that we're going to have to be a lot more agile with, and I think we're going to have to encourage people not to stick to this 9 to 5 model that we've become so accustomed to put everything inside of that box. We have to find ways to adapt and get around that.
And not feel guilty about it too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
I think we're going to struggle as well. So how do we know someone's actually working for us? We see them come in at 9 o'clock. We see them leave at 5. We know that they've been there for their day. We know they've worked an 8-hour day. When we get to this model of basically of working throughout the entire day, it might be in the office, might be out of the office. I think the challenge specifically for the managers and the higher ups is going to be tracking this work and making sure that our employees actually are working. From the hiring end, you want to hire people that you know are going to do a good job, but that's hard enough in itself. And how do we then follow up afterwards and make sure they actually are doing their work? And I think it's going to be a huge challenge. Yeah, without micromanaging. I think we're going to see a huge challenge there to really try to make sure people are working without micromanaging, but at the same time making sure that from the business standpoint that we're not losing money on non-functioning workers. So I think beyond just the simple person that's part of that environment, I think we're going to also have to reshape and rethink from the manager standpoint how we manage individuals that are part of that culture and that part of that work environment.